Alright, hello everybody, what's happening? Welcome back to another video. As you can probably see by now, it's the voice, the synchronization of my voice and the video is not all that great today. I'm not sure why, to be honest. I was trying to get that rectified just right before the stream and I wasn't able to do so, but you know, you can hear me nonetheless, but it just sucks to have this kind of problem. But anyways, whatever, right? What it is what it is, and we'll just leave it at that. So anyways, welcome, and everyone, welcome to the channel. To all the newcomers, welcome, as always. So we'll get started here, in a couple of minutes. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as hit like will further disseminate the channel, so please help the channel by just liking the video. And let's get started into the topic for today. I came up with a new little easier transition, I think. I know not the format, but the text is a little different, so you might just notice that the text is a little bit different, but it is what it is. Hey, what's up, James? Good to see you on. Thank you so much for being on. Nice to have you on. So as you can see, the text is a little bit different. I'm trying to still work, trying to get things together, really trying to make improvements on the channel, and it takes a little bit of time. Hopefully I'll be able to get it right eventually, but there you have it, just a little minor change on the channel. But yeah, we'll get started into the topic for today. The first one I wanted to get to is pretty easy. Obviously, Lunin has gone on loan to Real Madrid. This was reported a few days ago, but now it's official. He has gone on loan this is just for a season. Then we get him back, to Real Madrid, and he's a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more ready for maybe not some first team action, but maybe as a second goalkeeper. If ever we do sell Keylor Navas, which will eventually probably come. And then with this being said, I guess now the other question, or the next question, becomes: is Kubo to Valladolid now possible? And that could make a lot of sense. For me, Kubo, I think it could be good for him to get some first team action. Hey, what's good, K. Alexander? Good to see you on, man. Thank you for being on. Jonas says Jovic loan. Jovic loan, really? Hopefully not. Really? Is this really true? I can't believe it. I'm seeing it a little bit, huh? I don't want to see Jovic on loan. I'd rather see him here. If Benzema gets injured, yeah, you do have Mariano, but Mariano doesn't seem to be favored by Zidane, so Jovic loan would be kind of weird, actually. Yeah, I just looked it up right now. There are rumors about it, so it is kind of odd. I hope that's not true. No, for me, no. We can't do that kind of stuff. Hey, Asbrav, good to see you. Asbrav Kazori says, man, what's your opinion on Luka Jovic and Neymar? Luka Jovic, from what I've seen, he looks pretty good. Of course, we all know Luka Jovic had a couple of chances where he could have scored. He could have gotten his first goal. He could have obviously easily gotten his debut goal, but he put it right in the middle. And I'm not too worried. He looks like a really good player. He has the strength. I really like that about Luka Jovic, and he will come good. He looks like a good striker. Obviously, like I said before, I would have liked to have kept RDT and maybe Mariano for those fighting positions, but Luka Jovic will come good. He looks like a real promise to Madrid. Neymar, the situation with him, obviously, he seems to be going to Barcelona. What I have to say about Neymar is he is a world-class player. He's a very, very, very good player. Would I take him at Real Madrid? I would say 100% without, any doubts. And yes, as cynical as he can be, as selfish as he can be, naturally as a consequence of his selfishness, we will succeed as a club with Real Madrid, with Neymar. As much as he can be kind of a bad apple, he will score goals, and with goals, we'll get inevitable success. Inevitable success is what I have to say. Let's see here. So Jonas says, I've heard rumors about it. I just saw that Jovic alone. I wouldn't want to see that, because we need depth. You have Champions League football, you have La Liga, you have Copa del Rey. I mean, we're not going to be able to play all those games with Karim Benzema and obviously Mariano. So yeah, it's just going to be tough. IA says, no, it was reported by Don Balon, who's known to be 100% fake news. Thank you for that, IA. Appreciate that. Yeah, it would really have surprised me if Luka Jovic were to go on loan. Someone like Takefusa Kubo could benefit from a loan, but Luka Jovic, no, for sure not. Asbraf Kazori says, do you think we will win titles this season? It's a difficult thing to say. I think it just comes down to the players and how the cohesion builds amongst the team. If we do get players to turn up and the cohesiveness does come up, we need some togetherness in the team, and so far we haven't seen that. Obviously, the the players are new, and I think at the beginning of the season we'll struggle a little bit, and I think that's why for me I don't think La Liga will win necessarily. The Champions League, I'm not too sure about it. You know, you look at other teams around Europe who have strengthened on top of already very, very strong foundations, and for us, we haven't really done that at the moment. If we can get a couple more signings, then possibly so, but with the squad that we have at the moment, I don't think we'll win too much this season, Asprov. James says, latest on Van de Beek, Van de Beek, sorry. Van de Beek just looks like it's not going to happen. He said it was, you know, he might stay after all, and I know the president kind of corroborated that. He said that Van de Beek might stay, and so that doesn't look likely, which is so weird. You know, I don't even know what's going on at Madrid now, because you had Neymar supposedly coming to the club, Van de Beek supposedly coming to the club, and I think it was Bruno Fernandes, and now all these transfers that's not going to happen, you know, and that seems kind of weird, you know. Like I said, we need midfielders here. It's just really weird that we haven't gotten any other midfielders, despite you know, loaning out Dani Ceballos and selling Kovacic and selling Marcos Llorente. It's so weird that we haven't gotten anyone else. So I think that's a bit weird. Creative Content says, today I watched Ajax game and Ziyech and Van de Beek was awesome. Thank you for that creative content. Look, if we can get someone like, you know, Ziyech and Van de Beek, they could solve our right-hand position, right wing position, and this center midfielder position. So why not go for those players, you know, who on the cheap? Maybe they are cheaper, maybe they're not the glamorous signing that some people expect, but you know, those players, you know, that Ajax team was a very hard-working team, and I like hard-working players. Maybe it's better than the big name, you know. Motion says, wouldn't be surprised if Zidane resigned. I'm hearing about that as well too, that Zidane might resign just because he didn't get the Paul Pogba. He didn't. Basically, that was the big reassurance from Florentino Perez, and Florentino Perez so far has made a quandary out of it. You know, he hasn't really gone after Paul Pogba, and I just think that comes down due to the fact that Florentino Perez just doesn't really want Paul Pogba at the club, and Zinedine Zidane obviously wants him. So there's a big discrepancy there. And obviously Florentino Perez has the bigger power, so you know, he's going to have the last say on that. And if Zinedine Zidane doesn't get back fully in this transfer window, then he doesn't have a fair chance. You know, he's going into the season without a fair chance, without all the tools at his hand. It's like doing an oil change, but you don't have any of the tools. I mean, how can you do the oil change without tools? Is that possible? Yeah, it's not really possible. You do need the tools to do that, unless you have a really old car that has, you know, a lot of rust, and you could take off the little screw easily, but other than that, I mean, it just becomes very difficult. Let's see here. James says, I looked it up. He said he would be loaned because Zidane doesn't like him in preseason. Oh my gosh, really? This is just crazy. And so we can get Christian Stuani. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, he has scored. You know, I would say he's been fairly prolific in La Liga. I'm just surprised we're linked to Christian Stuani. I wouldn't want to see. I don't think he's Madrid caliber. I know he's been up there in La Liga, you know, in the goal scoring, I would say, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Kay Alexander said we never replaced Ronaldo if that was even possible. It was never possible. We would have to disseminate the goals, or we would have to equally divide the goals between a few players. And obviously, bringing in Luka Jovic helps. Bringing in Eden Hazard helps. But we do need someone. We do need someone else on the right. And I think, you know, having more players who can, you know, where you can equally divide the work, you could essentially replace Ronaldo in that way. But replacing Ronaldo and himself with another player equally as prolific, that would never happen. Yeah. Motion Hamid, good to see you. He says Van de Beek, so much going on. Going to be so disappointed if he doesn't. Me too. We need midfielders at the club, and I don't understand what the club is doing right now. You know, obviously Neymar would have been nice. It would have been glamorous signing, but I think more than anything, we need a midfield. I mean, we let go of 3 midfielders in the summer, and we're not replacing them with any. That'd just be absolutely crazy. Leaves Eriksson, who we might not get even either. I mean, I know exactly. I mean, at least just get Eriksson, who really wants to come to Madrid. Why not get someone like Eriksson, you know, who wants to come here to the club? Asparov Kazuri says, on the current status, who do you think is the favorite to win UCL? You know, you could say Manchester City to some extent, but I think Manchester City are still going to have something, you know, there's still going to be an impediment in terms of mentally. I don't think mentally they're quite there yet. So, but Manchester City could be a good shout. Barcelona, if they get, you know, Barcelona get Neymar, obviously Valverde is, you know, kind of a silly coach. I don't want to say a silly coach, but I mean, not the best coach for Barcelona, but Barcelona get Neymar. Barcelona could potentially win Champions League. Yeah. So I would say Barcelona, Manchester City, Liverpool. Can they do it? I don't know. Yeah, Manchester City or Barcelona, I'd have to say. Motion says Ziyech had a 25 million buyout clause this summer, and only Seville came in for him. It's just so surprising. I would have sold Vasquez and got him. Yeah, me too. But now he's gone. Yeah, it's just wait, sorry. But now he's gone and signed a new contract. Oh, you see, yes. We're doing these things too late, and that's a problem. What's going on? We were doing so well at the beginning of the transfer window, and all of a sudden, it takes a huge declivity, and I'm not sure why it went so awry. It was going so well, and now it's all looking to be a shambles. Creative Content says Real Madrid need 1 right wing, 2 midfielders, and 1 star center back. Those are good shouts. Creative Content, I like that. But otherwise, this transfer window is a 4 out of 10. We are Real Madrid. Exactly, we are Real Madrid. This is the biggest club in the world. I mean, obviously, we started off really well, and I understand that. I did give. I would say I did praise Florentino Perez to some extent, but we need more than this. We can't do well with this squad at the moment. With the complacency of the squad, it's not going to go well this season. James said if we were great in preseason, I would maybe understand why Zizou wouldn't want Perez to offer for Neymar, but with how bad we were, surely he would think we need to at least bid for him. Exactly, we need to bid for at least Neymar. Just try. The worst that can happen, they reject it. That's the worst thing that can happen. I mean, come on, and especially that PSG want to do, they certainly, I would say there's a proclivity in PSG. They'd much rather do business with us than Barcelona, and why not just take advantage of that? It might work. You just never know. You just got to give it a try. It's like if you see a pretty girl and you just got to try. If you don't try, you'll never know. So, just Real Madrid has to try. That's really what it comes down to. Motion Ahmed says the Jovic news is fake. Thank you for that. The source is a fraud Serbian outlet. Thank you for that, Motion. Really appreciate it. I know I think it was Jonas that said it earlier that it was fake also. So thank you for that. Thank you for clarifying on that. I wouldn't want to see Jovic on loan. We need that squad depth, and he is a very good player. He will come good for us. I know. I've seen a little bit of criticism for Luka Jovic, but he will come good. I'm not too worried for him. Motion says Zidane should have been given what he wanted before he resigned. Thank you for that. Yep, he should. He should be backed fully. And just he needs a full chance. If we give him half a chance, why would you give him half a chance? He needs a full chance. And if he doesn't have the proper tools, he won't be able to do it. It's going to be a job half done, really. And then Motion says Hazard and Mbappe should have been signed then, but Mbappe would be very possible next summer. Yeah, Mbappe is very, very possible in the future, but I think we need to move quick for Mbappe because someone did tell me that Barcelona, I wouldn't say they were interested in him, but the thing with Mbappe is that all big clubs are going to be looking to acquire his services. I know Mbappe's dream is to move to Real Madrid one day, but if ever, someone else offers him a nice contract, offers him some first team action, that he would go to that club. Why not? But we would have to move quick for Mbappe and possibly next summer. Yeah. IA says if Barca gets Neymar by giving PSG, Coutinho, and 100 million, then they'll have spent more money than us in this transfer market after they were close to winning the treble last season. That's just crazy. I know. If Barcelona get Neymar, then I don't know what we're doing in this transfer window. We need to sign more players. We need to sign, a big name. Especially if Barcelona are to sign Neymar, we need to sign another big name. That's just how it works. It's our competitors. We just have to do it. It's Real Madrid. Motion says I don't understand why we've never been linked with De Bruyne. Imagine him in our team. I know. De Bruyne is such a good player and a center midfielder. Ultimately, what we would need at Real Madrid. He's a creative player, and he's not. I would say he's a center attacking midfielder, but he's not. Strictly just offensive. He's a good center midfielder, and that's what I like about De Bruyne. And why not just try for him? Why not just try? The worst they can do is just reject the bid. Motion Ahmed says Bernardo Silva is my dream signing for Real Madrid. Yeah, I know. I've seen a few people say Bernardo Silva. It's a good player for sure. And after Hazard, who was my dream signing for 8 years, well, there's 1 out of 2, I guess. But Bernardo Silva could be a possibility. You never know in the future, but we'll have to see. But what does it take for Real Madrid? To get Real Madrid back to the top. What does it really take? Let me know, guys, in the comments. Just because I do have a few things that obviously maybe we can bring to the table. I did talk about a rebuild before, and I did talk about a complacency, how it's affecting the players. We are seeing a lot of lethargy amongst the players. Too much I don't care what happens. There's too much too much comfort. And ultimately, we need to regalvanize the team. We need players who are hungry. Some of these players, they've been oversatiated in trophies, and as a result, they just don't have it in them anymore. They don't have that hunger, that zealousness that they once had. It's just completely gone, and we need to get that hunger back into the team. Motion says you never see Manchester City players looking to leave. They're always content and a great team. Yeah, you've seen that under Guardiola. I have to give it to him as much, as not. I would say it's not that I'm not the biggest fan for Guardiola, but it's true that I'm not his biggest fan. But I do respect what he did. He's got that he's got that team playing really, really well and really much as a unit, and that is what it's great to see them. I mean, I can't deny that, and they're always content. Yeah, that's very true. John says Zidane needs to get rid of the players that doesn't show commitment and let Zidane build the team he wants. I mean, Zidane needs to be given a full chance, and that's ultimately what I think. If we give Zidane half a chance, it's just not fair. I think Zidane needs to be given a full chance, and I think if we don't get someone like Paul Pogba or Neymar, I mean, that's ultimately, especially Neymar, you're talking about 30 goals a season that you leave out, or Pogba, you talk about a few assists, a few goals in the midfield that you leave out, and that could essentially be title-winning goals, So, I mean, from what I saw from Paul Pogba a few days ago, in Manchester United jersey, he looks like a player who's not completely there. What I'd have to say is he's a very good player. Look, he's not completely there, and he gets 2 assists. I mean, he's got that quality. He really is that good. But why not just try? We have to go all in for him. The only try or the only attempt that I've seen from Real Madrid at the moment was the 27 million bid plus James Rodriguez. I mean, that's abject. I mean, why are we not going? Why are we not at least trying? It's just very disappointing. Motion Ahmed says, I can't believe we're not playing in the UEFA Super Cup tomorrow. It became the norm. It did become the norm, I guess we were a little spoiled in some way, but it did become the norm, And here at Real Madrid, it has to be, I wouldn't say it has to be the norm, but, we have to at least, I don't know, be given somewhat of a chance. Last season was just abysmal. We don't want to see that again. Motion Ahmed says, even in previous years before Pep, none of the players ever looked to leave Silva, Aguero. That's true. Good point. Motion Ahmed, would you sell who would you sell in our current team right now? I know I've been thinking about that a little bit. If it was strictly down to me, I would say obviously Lucas Vazquez, Nacho. That seems to be the names that get mentioned a lot, and it's nothing against them. It's just that their time is probably up. Modric, I would actually sell, and the reason that is just because of age. I know he's a quality player. He's been fantastic for us, but I don't see him ever getting to that level that he used to be. And other than that, I would say left back position, Marcelo. Marcelo comes as a factious one. Would I sell him or not? I'm not sure. Maybe I would consider Marcelo. I know he offers a lot in his attack, but I think at the moment maybe we need someone who's good in both areas. And Marcelo he offers a lot in attack, but in defense it's not much. Ramos I wouldn't sell quite yet, but I would be maybe looking to sell him in a couple of years or something along those lines. I know he's dwindling down. I know he's still got it in him, I would say, to some extent, but maybe in a couple of years for him. So I would say at the present moment I would say Nacho, Lucas Vazquez, and Luka Modric. Those are the 3 that I would say that I would sell. Let's see here. Mushin said, I see Modric going next season for sure. Yeah, I do see it too. And Modric has been a great servant to the club. I'm not going to say, oh, he's bad, he's a horrible person, he should leave. It's not that. It's just that his time is up at Real Madrid, and that's only normal. I think we knew that was going to come eventually, They can't last forever, these players. Creative Content says we should have gone for Ndobele. Yep, we should have gone for Ndobele. I don't understand why we were never in for him. I know there was interest. I just don't think we ever made a formal bid, which is kind of weird. Motion says, I'd look to bring Hakimi back too, maybe. I'm unsure of Carvajal now. Hakimi He's going to come back next season. And yeah, I know a lot of people are unsure of Carvajal. I haven't seen too much great stuff from Carvajal in preseason. We'll just have to wait with Carvajal. There's a player in there, but yeah, I haven't seen it that much from him. And Motion says, no way Ramos needs to retire here. Yeah, I mean, I can see why. He's been a great servant to the club. I think he's on his 15th season here, so yeah, I can see why. He's, he is a good player. And I can see why you'd say that. For me, sometimes I think Ramos, maybe we should sell him, but his character, his personality, we do need it here maybe, and that's why I'd say a couple of years. But we'll have to further assess it in a couple of years. Motion Ahmed says, what about Bale, James, and Isco? Isco, I'd probably sell. And the reason that is just I haven't seen the best from him. I think there's a player in there. I think I would sell him. Bale, I've always had mixed feelings about Bale. I would say, if it were for me, I would say, let me think about the game. Let me get back to the Gareth Bale one. James I would try to keep, and I would try to play him to his fullest, because to his fullest, he is a great player. And about Gareth Bale, I think the thing with Gareth Bale, he's injury prone. Financially, there's an extortionate amount of money there. So if I could sell him, I would sell him. That's what I would say about Gareth Bale. If he were to stay, he's a world-class player that I would use. If it came down to me, if I was the manager, just because of his wages, I think I would sell him. But if he were in the situation that he was in, where he does want to stay at the club, then maybe I would try to make him stay at the club, make him feel happy, so that way we can get the best out of him. It's just a win-win situation. Matthias says here, after a busy day, good to see you, Matthias. Thank you for being on. Hopefully, just try to relax. Try to chill. Busy day, those are tough. But that's life. But good to see you on. Moshe Ahmed says, I feel sorry for Mariano. His only crime is taking the number 7 jersey. I do feel sorry for Mariano. It's kind of sad what happened to, because, Mariano, I'd say, represents what more Real Madrid players should. I like the hunger that I see in him, and that's in Mariano. I would say taking the number 7 shirt, it was maybe a little bit too much, but I like his hunger, his assiduousness, his running on the pitch, his energy. I mean, that's the kind of player that we need here at Real Madrid, and I would like to see it for more players, and Mariano is certainly something we could use at the moment. IA says Carvajal is really bad right now. I don't know what happened. Me neither. I never saw it coming, to be honest. If anyone ever told me that Carvajal was going to be the way he was in right now, I would never believed it. It was I don't know what's going on with him, but hopefully we can see the best out of him this season. Matthias says, did you hear about Ronaldo praising Zidane? I did hear about that a little bit. I guess Zidane is a good man manager. We all know that. Nothing new there. I think it's just tactically, he's just, he's a little bit inept, and it's, I think that's kind of normal. Look, he went into management really quickly. His ascendance was really quick. He hasn't had time to really fully learn everything. He's going to have to make mistakes, and probably those mistakes will come in this season if Real Madrid fans are patient. Creative Content says Serge Milinkovic-Savic as replacement for Cruz. I don't really rate Milinkovic-Savic too much. I know a lot of people have been talking about him here and there, but I don't really rate him too much. I don't know why. He doesn't seem, I would say, very mobile. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't really rate him too highly. I haven't seen him in a full game, so I can't tell you what he's like. I've just seen bits and parts of him. But I don't really rate him. I would go for someone else. Maybe a Pjanic. I know someone told me Pjanic. The only thing with Pjanic, obviously, he's 30. He's the same age as Cruz. But someone like that and just a little bit younger. Obviously, Valverde is like that. But Valverde is not quite ready yet. But for the future, he will be. Moshe Ahmed says, I feel sorry for James. Under someone who admires him, he's scary. Yeah, exactly. If he's given that kind of, it's not camaraderie, but if he's given that kind of relationship where he's able to thrive and he's given that confidence, he is a very good player, and we saw it under Carlo Ancelotti. We saw it in the season where Carlo Ancelotti really gave him essentially all the confidence that was needed, and he was amazing. Macias says Zidane to quit. I know. I'm seeing a lot of that. Zidane out, Zidane démission, and stuff along those lines. Zidane is going to have to get it right, and actually, I'm going to ask you guys: how much time would you give Zinedine Zidane to get it right? Let me know in the comments section. Would you give him, 1 month, 2 months, 4 months? with the squad that he has, with the squad that he has. Let me know in the comments. And Creative Content says if Barca can spend 100 million on Dembele, we can also go for Jadon Sancho this season. Yep, Jadon Sancho. Like I said, I'm a bit apprehensive when it comes to English players, but I think at this point in the transfer window, I take him. Motion says NGL, I take Matuidi right now. Matuidi, he's older. I don't know if I take him, but yeah, I see what you mean though. I mean, yeah, it is coming towards the end of the transfer window. Probably anything at the moment is just better than nothing. Matthias says Savic is good, but he's not that kind of vibrant midfield. Yeah, exactly. I know he's got something, but I don't know. Here at Real Madrid, I feel like we could do a little bit better than Savic, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Matthias says, I'll give him till Christmas. I think that's good. Yeah, I think I'd give him till Christmas as well. I think, we want to give Zidane some time, but this is Real Madrid where, the club has standards. We've got standards here at Real Madrid. We're not Manchester United. We're not Arsenal. We're not trying to, prolong someone's career. And, even after everything that Zinedine Zidane has done, we're not trying to, prolong it too much, to the point where it's just a disaster. We want to end it, on, whenever it's best for both parties, I'd have to say. Motion Hamid says, I wouldn't sack him at all, but if he gets really, really bad, he'll go. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, actually. If Zidane, probably Zidane, Zidane's acumen is pretty good, and probably he knows that when it's really, really bad, he'll probably end up going. And but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I guess it's kind of early, but, we could see this coming, right? We could see this coming. Let's see here. So obviously, yeah, for all the praise that Florentino has gotten from me, it just makes no sense to not get new players. The team is asking for a gale of fresh air. We need more players. How can we sell 3 midfielders and not replace them? We need more players, and for me, we have to go after Ben Beek or like someone. I think it was Creative Content that was saying Ziyech, which yes, they're cheaper players and they're not the glamorous players that Real Madrid are usually associated. Real Madrid don't really make those. They like to make the more glamorous signings, but if we can go after those kinds of players, then why not? Especially at this point in the transfer window. Let's see here. I wouldn't give him the thing is Zidane. So Matthias says the thing is Zidane got backed up by the board, so he got the players he thought would be good. Christmas is reasonable. He did get backed up by the board to some extent. I think the only one is Paul Pogba, and that's actually a pretty significant player if you ask me. Paul Pogba, he's an amazing player, a very, very talented player. He'll bring so much to the team, and he brings something else in the midfield. And that's essentially what we need here at Real Madrid is something else in the midfield. And he hasn't gotten that in the moment. And if he's not backed on that, then I would have to vindicate him to some extent just because he's not getting backed fully, Johnny says, I think if Zidane doesn't buy more players, then I'll give him 2 months. 2 months, yeah, that's fair. That's, it's Real Madrid, I guess. Creative Content says Pogba could be our new Zidane if he comes to La Liga. Yeah, I think so. I think Pogba, he's got the same kind of, I wouldn't say he's got skills, and Zidane had skills as well. And Pogba could be that kind of player. I really like Pogba. I really rate him. I know he's kind of on and off sometimes, but, when he's on, this guy's world class. Moshe Ahmed said, I was thinking this morning maybe we should just pay the 160 demand. Yeah, we should. Why not? It's Real Madrid. You look at Barcelona. They paid, how much was it for Griezmann? And they paid for De Jong, and they're going to pay for Neymar. Yeah, exactly. Matthias says, would you take Mourinho back if Zidane was sacked? I know some people were asking me that, actually, and I don't know. I'm going to get back to you on that. Let me think about it a little bit. I'm going to get back to you on that. Moshe Ahmed says we're going to be competing with Barca and Atletico, who are on the verge of signing Rodrigo now. I was actually going to mention that. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for reminding me, Motion. And signing James is still in the air for them. Yeah, Rodrigo actually seems to be going to Atletico Madrid. This is a Rodrigo that's played for Valencia for a while now, and he's been, I would say, he probably hasn't been the player that maybe some people expected him. Some people maybe expected a lot more from him, but he's a very good player. He's been, he's a very fast player. He's going to offer something else to Atletico Madrid, and already that they have signed João Felix and Marcos Llorente, they're getting someone like Rodrigo into their team. They're going to have a good team at Atletico Madrid, and they're consolidating their team even further, and Rodrigo is La Liga proven, he's I wouldn't say he's a very good player, but he's a player that has played for the Spanish national team. So it just shows that Atletico are still consolidating and we're not doing much. I feel. Jonas says, "Hell no, he's not worth that." Motion says, "Yes, I'd have Mourinho. I think it'd be down to Mourinho or Raul after Zidane, and then Pochettino after those two." So to get back to you on Matias, I think I would take Mourinho, and I think every one of you guys have convinced me about Mourinho. I think the players need to kick up with their backside, and we can't do a full rebuild. And I think Mourinho as a temporary solution could offer something else that Zinedine Zidane, Carlo Ancelotti hasn't offered, and it's that character, it's that ability of being hated. It's Neymar kind of has that, Ronaldo has that. Where they're just kind of hated for one reason or another, and I don't think Ronaldo's like that as much now, but they're hated, and I think we need that again, and we need someone to, we need these players to, to get on it, they're a bit complacent at the moment, and I think that's just due to the fact that maybe we've had some soft managers in the past, and we need someone maybe with Mourinho's character. So to get back on that, Macias, I would say, yeah, we should go after Mourinho, just for a temporary solution. Let's see here. Moshin Ahmed says we need Pogba, so we might have to pay it. Yep, exactly. Just pay the fee. Just pay the fee. Why not? 160 million. I mean, is that a lot more than 150 million? Just pay it, especially in today's market. You look at Barcelona have paid 142 million dollars for Coutinho. 142 million euros. Sorry, for Coutinho. I mean, really, is he worth that much? No, he's not worth that much. But they did it. They did it, and Real Madrid should be doing it. IA says thinking too much on the future and not buying now should just save money for Mbappe, and Pogba will come back to bite us. Yeah. That's a good point. IA, actually, we should think a little bit on present. Those two or other players will turn us down if we turn into a new AC Milan. Exactly. That's true. We can't think too much on the future. We got to think at the present. What does Real Madrid need at the present moment? And that is midfielders, I would say. Yes, maybe a Neymar would be great, but we need midfielders at the moment. That's really what it comes down to. Johnny says Pogba is so inconsistent. He kind of is. I have to give it to you, and he is a little bit inconsistent. But I feel like those problems really started when he was at Manchester United. When he was at Juventus, no one was really talking about those problems. But I feel like if we got someone like Paul Pogba, then we would have to bring in someone else, another midfielder to help Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba alone won't be able to do the job. That's 100%. I think, the general consensus of that is you could say that. But what I do want to say about Pogba is he's a very good player. But yes, his inconsistency does worry me a little bit. But if we are to bring in Paul Pogba, then another midfielder would be good. We don't want to leave the burden to Paul Pogba because he won't be able to take it on his own. Let's see. Creative Content says Harry Kane is a goal-scoring machine. Yeah, Harry Kane is a goal-scoring machine, and he takes his chances really good. He does. Moshin Ahmed says, would we be able to swap players to EPL teams despite the window being closed here in England? I'm not sure about that. Swap deals don't get really done here too. I mean, they don't really get done too often, and I don't think swap deals really. I don't think that's a really feasible option, just because there's too many parties involved, and I don't think really that's gonna get done. But swap. I mean, I would like to do swap players. I mean, there's a whole bunch of players that I would like to swap, but they don't get done too often. IA says Man United midfield is so weak right now. There's 0% chance he's coming in. Exactly. Man U are very rich. They don't need the money. Yeah, exactly. It's true, and you're right. And Man United know that Paul Pogba is really a good marketing tool for them. And without Paul Pogba, they wouldn't have all that marketing. They know that he's a very prominent figure at Manchester United. So the chances are going down. That's for sure. But you know what? In addition to that, Pogba did say the necessary things to leave Real Madrid. It's now Real Madrid to make their move. Zinedine Zidane is now interested. He's interested in Paul Pogba, obviously, but I think that the situation is just that Florentino Perez really doesn't rate him too highly. I would certainly like him, but I think we should get another midfielder if we're to get him. I guess that's my take on it. Moshe Ahmed says I'd be satisfied low-key if we got Van de Beek and Eriksen in the coming weeks. Yeah, me too. Actually, at this point in the transfer window, I think I'd be more than happy with those players, just because we're not. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting some players in the near future. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Creative Content says, what about Thiago Alcantara? Yeah, he would bring creativity. He would. He was a Barcelona player, so I don't know if I'd take him. just because of that. But you know what? I can't be a hypocrite here and say, I can't be a hypocrite and say, if I take Neymar, then I can't say I wouldn't take Thiago. So Thiago is a very good player, and he could bring a lot of creativity. So I would say maybe. Motion says Endobella was the one. He was the one, but we can't look at the past. We got to look at the future and move on with that. Matias says Thiago Alcantara is very underrated. He is actually. You know what? He is. I have to give it to him, even if he was a Barcelona player with the Barcelona past. I'm not going to say that. He's a very underrated player. He doesn't get a lot of recognition. And it's very surprising. And I think that just comes down to the fact that Bayern Munich just win the league all the time. And it's just that they don't. Those players don't really get the recognition just because they've made it look easy, to win the Bundesliga. And Thiago is just one of those players, that he's been in the squad that have made it look easy, and we just take it for granted that Bayern Munich just win the Bundesliga. But yeah, he's very underrated, I have to say. Matias says Thiago needs a new challenge. We should go for him, and he's young, very talented. Yeah, he could be a good player. Even with the Barcelona past. I would say why not? It's always a contentious move, but at this point, why not? Moshe Ahmed says thoughts on Lunin being to Valladolid. Excellent move for Lunin. I think this is a really, really, really good move. I didn't really talk about this a lot, but I think this is great for Lunin. He needs to get more experience. And what better place, of course, in La Liga, where he'll probably play in the future. And he looks like a really good goalkeeper. I have to say, he looks like a really good shot stopper. I haven't seen much from him, but from what I've seen, looks like a great shot stopper. He looks like he could make it at Madrid, but he needs a couple loans, and this is another very astute decision from Real Madrid. And obviously, I would say it gives a little bit more space. Not a little bit more space, but maybe a little bit. We needed to get rid of some players, and this is one that I definitely agree with, especially considering he's just going on loan. Let's see here. Creative Concept says, what about Axel Witsel? I haven't seen much from him, so I don't really know what he's like. I don't know if I'd want him here. I think he played for Zenit. I don't even know where he's at now, but I don't know about him. I really haven't seen much, so I can't really make a good judgment on that, I have to say. Let's see. Let me check how much the stream is. 37 minutes. All right, 37 minutes, guys. I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes, and I'll end it at that. Moshe Ahmed says he wasted a whole year at Leganés. I know he did waste his whole year. He was never really a first goalkeeper there. So I hope he does get minutes at Valladolid because he needs those minutes. We're not trying to loan out a player just for them to stay on the bench. There's clauses in his contract that will make sure that I heard good because he needs the minutes. Witzel is how old now? I'm gonna check actually. But I think he's getting older. He's 30 years of age. I mean, we don't really want that now, do we? Moshe Ahmed says Ronaldo Nazario owns Real Valladolid. Exactly. We have good ties with Real Valladolid, so that's the good thing about it. So hopefully we do see some kind of, hopefully we do see Kubo move there because Kubo, he's pretty much ready for La Liga. But, here at Real Madrid, we need players to always be on top. And maybe Kubo will have fluctuations throughout the season. And, for him to deal with those fluctuations at Real Madrid wouldn't be good for his development. It probably, mentally it would damage him. I wouldn't say it would damage him, but it would hurt him, mentally. So, if we could loan him out to Real Valladolid, that could be good. Let's see here. Matias says next Christmas, Diaz or Eriksson. Yeah, Eriksson we should do right now. Eriksson, he wants to come to Real Madrid. Why not do it right now? Especially. Doesn't seem like we're really going after any midfielders at the moment. Creative Content says Witzel just for 1 year, and then next year we go for Endobella. I don't think Endobella will want to leave, to be honest. I just don't think so. Maybe in a couple of years we could do something like that, but next year seems too soon. Jonas says Lunin will have to compete with Masip. That's good. I don't think Masip is the best goalkeeper. I know he did play for Barcelona for a little bit, but I don't know if he really achieved his potential, But yeah. Boshan Ahmed says, I hope he won't. To be honest, I can see Kubo being used on the first team. Maybe we need to loan Vinicius out. Fair point. Motion says Vinicius is frustrating me in the final third. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, I would say, what I would have to say about Vinicius is that it's not that I never really rated him too highly, but the potential is there. That's the thing with Vinicius. There's potential, but he's not there yet. You know, he needs a loan move, and for me, I think a loan move would be best for Vinicius. He's a very good player. He'll cause us problems, but his end product is still lacking. And for me, a loan move would be in the best interest for him. Let's see. Matias says, "Be right back." All right, buddy. All right. Motion Ahmed says, "All this transfer drama has me staying away from Real Madrid Twitter and all its speculation." Yeah, I know. I guess it's transfer drama. I know some people don't like it. I mean, I certainly like it, to be honest. I'm not one to really get annoyed of it, but yeah, I mean, it can get cumbersome from time to time. Claps says, "Hey buddy, what's up? What's up? Back at you, Claps. Good to see you on the stream." Motion Ahmed says, "He reminds me of Sterling a few years ago. He was poor in the final third, and now he's phenomenal." There you go. That's a very good point, Motion. You know, obviously Vinicius has the potential, but he needs to work on it, and a loan move would be good for him. And like I said, it's nothing bad on Vinicius Jr. It's just at the moment he's not there yet. But a loan move, I think, would be in best interest, just for him and for all parties involved. But that's a good example, Motion, of a player that really didn't have any end product and was able to make it happen for himself, I guess. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Yeah, obviously you had Paul Pogba, saying what he needs to say, and now there's discrepancy between, the reassurances that Florentino made to Zinedine Zidane, and now Zidane really doesn't, it doesn't seem like he's going to get Paul Pogba, and if he's only half back this season, then I'd have to say that, I mean, we have to vindicate Zidane to some extent just because he's not getting a full chance at Real Madrid, and, I mean, if he doesn't get a full chance at Real Madrid, then I wouldn't blame Zidane 100%. He needs the tools, and if he doesn't have the tools, then ultimately he will not succeed here at the club. That's what I have to say. So I'm gonna end it in a couple of minutes, guys. I'm gonna recap pretty soon. Motion says, "I just be in my own world," and then it hits me. Eden Hazard is our player, which makes me so happy. Yeah, I know Eden Hazard is gonna come good for us. He won't score 50 goals a season. He's not that kind of player, but he is creative. He's the creativity that we've been lacking on the left-hand flank, and that definitely solves one problem. But he won't solve every single problem on the pitch. We need more reinforcements on the pitch. Creative Contest says, "We are not like with any center back that is scared. We can't rely on Aaron Militao as Ramos' replacement." What I have to say about that is, yeah, I know it's kind of tough, but Ramos, I would say, is dwindling down. Eder Militao can learn the trade, I would say, in a year, and maybe in a year's time we can further assess the situation. But I think Eder Militao, if he learns the trade, I would say fairly quickly, then he could be that replacement. So we'll have to further assess the situation after, I have to say. Motion says, "I got his number and name printing on the away jersey a few days ago. EH7, nice, yeah. Hazard's going to be a big, I would say." He's going to be a big shirt seller. He's a good player, and he's been good at Chelsea, and he'll come good for us. Matthias says, "I really hope FFP won't understand. That's my biggest fear." I don't think you should worry too much. I can understand why, actually, but I don't think so, because look at Barcelona. They've got a few players, and they're even looking to sign Neymar. So I don't think we should be too worried. We need to sell Deadwood in place since we have no choice. Yeah, I know we do have some leftover players in the team, and we do have to sell them essentially. But I don't know if it's going to get done. But we do need to be a little bit more ruthless. Motion says, "Barca got so scary. We signed Hazard. They signed Griezmann, Neymar to add to Suarez and Messi." Exactly. Real Madrid need to add. It's not just complacent. We need to add more players. And yeah, if they are to sign Neymar, then we need to sign our own Galactico. That's how it works. ISS problem is that Zidane insists on keeping the old players like Vasquez instead of using Rodrigo over him. Yes, that's true. Zidane does have that tendency to play, the old boys, I guess you could say, and we do need to see some fresh blood. We do need to see the team. It does need a gale of fresh air, because at the moment, yeah, it's a little bit of the old boys, and the old boys have won it all, and they're a bit complacent. We need players who are hungry. Motion says, "I think we're good for FFP. The first few signings were registered as last season's signings. We haven't signed hardly anyone in the last 3 years." Thank you for that, Motion. That's true. And I think we should be fine. Matthias says, "If we were to sign Pogba and Neymar, then yes." Yeah, if we were to sign Pogba and Neymar, I'd definitely be worried about FFP. If we were to sign one of them, I think we should be fine. Motion says, plus our earnings and much bigger than our expenditure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's Real Madrid, we're not what is it, Numancia or Doncaster Rovers or anything like that. This is Real Madrid, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. So, yeah. Let's see here. So I'm going to end it in a couple of minutes, guys. I'm going to recap pretty much. Motion says, do you watch other games aside from Real Madrid, David? I do watch a few other games, actually. I watch La Liga games, and I do watch some Premier League games. I do watch Manchester United just because my brother watches them quite a bit. So I try to follow them from time to time. The other teams that I watch, some Valencia, Sevilla games, Real Betis. From time to time, if ever a La Liga game comes up and I have time to watch it, then I will watch it. Let's see. Creative Content says Pogba and Van de Beek are must. Otherwise, we are behind Atletico. Yes, exactly. We need those players at Real Madrid. Right now we've sold 2 midfielders. We've loaned out 1 midfielder, and we have gotten absolutely no replacements. So can't really understand. Motion says Doncaster Rovers. Yeah, it just came up in my mind for some reason. But there you have it, guys. I'm going to end it there. The only thing I'll just recap really quick is that, the thing. So Lunin has officially gone on loan to Real Valladolid, and hopefully, Kubo does follow. I would like to see Kubo follow, just because here at Real Madrid, I think he would be ready. The only thing is that I don't want to really damage him mentally, and I think he'd be ready. I just don't. I feel like it's a little bit risky, and I think loan move to Real Valladolid would relieve a lot of the pressure that he wouldn't have to face at Real Madrid. So for me, a loan move for Kubo would be fantastic, but we'll have to see. But Lunin has officially been loaned out, and then Paul Pogba, obviously this saga is kind of ongoing. Let's see if there was anything to say. I know there's a big discrepancy between the board and Zinedine Zidane about the Paul Pogba signing. Florentino Perez doesn't really rate him, I guess, and so that's why he's not really going after him. Zinedine Zidane still wants him, and he's saying that he would resign if Paul Pogba doesn't really come to the club. And what does Real Madrid take? What does it take for Real Madrid to get back into the to the top? Is we just need hunger back into the team. We got a lot of complacent players at the moment, and we need to, I would say, leave out some of those players. Some of those players have become too complacent, and that's a problem. Motion says it annoys me, this Van de Beek stuff. Yeah, I know. Van de Beek, sorry. Motion says if it was Barca, they'd have him now for 30 million. Yeah, I know. We gotta do this faster. We gotta do this faster. Motion says your left side of the green screen is flickering to let you know. Thank you so much. Yeah, actually, I do see that. It's a green screen can be quite volatile. I guess it's just I think the lighting is not that great, and I think I just need to get more lights. If I can get more lights, that would help me a lot. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Matias says, thank you, good stream. Yeah, thank you so much, Matias. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to end it pretty much there, guys. Just going to read out these last few comments. IA says, Varane wanted to leave, but Zidane convinced him to stay. Made Marcelo stay, renewed Cruz's contract, kept 34-year-old Modric, kept Vasquez. Man, dude, you're making it tough on me now. Yeah, that's true. Motion says, it's good now. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just the posture. I know it's like, if I have good posture, it doesn't do that. But if I look down, it just starts doing that. It's kind of weird. Creative Content says Barcelona president spending a lot of money. We have to match them. Exactly. We have to match. We have to either match Barcelona or surpass them. That's just how it works at Real Madrid. And then Motion Ahmed, but it comes and goes. It does. And I think the reason is it's just the posture, and it's just me looking down. Nice Day says, do you play football, David? I used to play a lot more football, to be honest. I don't play that much anymore, I have to say. I think it's just the time, I have school, I have other things to do, so it becomes kind of tough, but I hope I can play in the near future because I absolutely love it. And Motion says, before you go, your fave non-Real Madrid player. That's a difficult one, but I'm gonna say maybe, I guess you could say Paul Pogba. No. Paul Pogba, I like Paul Pogba a lot. Maybe Anthony Martial, maybe something along those lines. I really like Anthony Martial. He's looks like a great talent, So I'd say Anthony Martial at the moment. IA says Barca are 888. Oh my gosh, 888 million in debt. Jeez, man, crazy how you can be exempt. You're in debt and you're still buying players. I don't know how they're making it happen. Motion says Barca are going to be in big trouble. Their spending is ridiculous compared to us. It is. Yeah, there's got to be something in there because the way they're spending, it's just impossible that they can just make it all happen like that. So there you go, guys. I'm going to end it pretty much there. Like I said, thank you guys all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate to have everyone on. And thank you, James. Thank you, K. Alexander. Thank you, Jonas. Thank you, Asprav. Thank you, IA. Thank you, James. Thank you, Creative Content. Let's see. Thank you, Motion. Thank you. Let's see if I can find anyone else. Thank you, Matthias. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being on. Even if you came late, that's okay. It's always fine. Let's see. Thank you, IA. Really appreciate for having you on. I don't want to skip anyone here, so trying to just go ahead really slow. Thank you, Claps. Really appreciate for you being on, at least just for a little, no problem. And I think that's all I have for you guys today. I'm just hoping I'm not forgetting anyone. Let's see. So Motion says they're gonna be screwed when they go out in the UCL to Tottenham. Yeah, I know. Motion says I enjoy it, dude. You should do more of this often. Yeah, usually, basically at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I usually do this. It's pretty much every night, and then on the weekends it's at 2 p.m. except on match days. Match days I'll just go live right after, but pretty much every day I pretty much do a live stream, and I always let you know on the Instagram or on the YouTube channel whether I go live or not. And then Johnny says Lucas Vasquez will save us, guys. Don't worry. I'm getting a lot of banter at the moment, this guy. And Moshe says, you say my name like Motion. There's no Esh, just to let you know. Mosen, that's true, huh? I just saw that right now. I'm sorry, Mosen. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's very, very true. I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting me know. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry about that. Mosen says, can you say Paul Scholes scores goals really fast? Paul Scholes scores goals. Paul Scholes scores goals. Paul scores. I tried. Level 17. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna end it there. Like I said, thank you guys so much for being on. Really appreciate it. And take care, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.